Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. As always, we'll start with EVE Online, and I think I'm back to around average when it comes to EVE Online. I joined the mass test, which was quite interesting and definitely a major improvement on the mass test from before, with way less problems and definitely not some of those bugs that would really break the game if those ever came on TQ when it comes to the new chat windows, and much better performance. I had these strange performance drops throughout the mass test before that I didn't see during this mass test, although there were fewer participants. I also did a decent amount of exploration. I actually kept trying the Munin to get it to work, maybe to also make a second video on that. It just never really worked out, and in short, I think it's an interesting concept. I think it's definitely a capable ship, but it's just so much more work because of the autocannons requiring you to be at the right distance from your target, that I really don't like using the Munin that much. So it's probably also the trigger, been the trigger for my next little goal in EVE Online. So having to work so hard to try to make the Munin work, I thought, well, what is the exact opposite of that? It's of course missiles, because those just have their range and that's it. And then a passive shield tank, so you don't have to do anything active when it comes to the tanking. And that's basically my next little goal. I think it's also something that I can do regardless of what CCP announces and what I might end up trying from all of that. It is going to be to finish basically my skills on missiles for subcaps, to finish my skills on shields, and then to really try to find a nice evolution from small to large ships in that meta, which is the passive shield tank with main missile damage. And the end goal there is of course to have a golem, to put a golem in my different bases of operations so that I can run missions on that one. I think it's gonna be a very interesting journey just to try and figure everything out, buy everything. I also like to basically earn the things that I buy there, so I'm just slowly going to earn my way up to a golem like I feel like I've earned it, like I'm ready to fly it and to get in on that final phase. I have plenty of ISK, that's not a problem, just the way I enjoy setting small goals for myself in EVE Online. And so that's what I'm gonna do next year, polish up all of my skills for shields and missiles, and then the end game there is to have a nice golem and to see how that performs as a mission ship compared to the rattlesnake, which is what I'm using at the moment. I've always been a drone guy, it's time to switch to those missiles. Next to that, there's also some first bit of information coming out for EVE Online. Mainly really it's the short term though, that there's a new event coming out with the March release next week, so that could be quite interesting. I'm definitely also going to try and build, I think, a specific ship for that with very strong resistances to the pirates that will be involved in this next event, and I will see what the balance is there, how much effort it takes to earn the points. Is this something that I can see myself do daily or not? How hard are the sites? All of that stuff is of course coming next week after the event has actually launched. I haven't really had time to do too much on CC though. Next to that, we have the World of Warcraft. Of course, I've still played a decent amount of World of Warcraft, but I'm also getting to that point where I would feel comfortable with my shaman at the moment if it were BFA tomorrow, basically. Although there is still some stuff that I want to do. The shaman is level 110. I'm like at, what is it, gear score 860 or something like that. Not great, but I mean it's definitely at a point where I can very easily do anything in the regular world. I could go after any quest that I want to. I can just run the BGs that I want. I'll probably try it at some point. Looking for a raid, I think, is now accessible to me as well. The only really thing that I can't do, but I don't really have much intention of doing that, would be something like hardcore mythic dungeons or raids or anything like that. But I don't feel like I need to do that. So for the first time in, well, quite a little bit of time since I started playing World of Warcraft, I really felt like I could pull myself away from the game a little bit, tone down the amount of effort that I put into my character every evening there, and I am starting to evolve towards finding a routine that I'm going to be able to maintain up until Battle for Azeroth. I mean, I'll still set myself small goals there as well. I'm currently working on my professions. There's definitely still some work needed to be done there, which I find actually very enjoyable. I still want to finish up some quest lines and see what some of the world quests have to offer and things like that, for instance. But what I'm enjoying the most at the moment is to just do some random battlegrounds. You get gear as a reward there if you win, which is sometimes definitely an upgrade for me, and I just enjoy that, you know, 10-15 minutes of fun, do some PvP, do your best. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's really all dependent on very random factors there, but this is so accessible, pretty damn instant, and definitely that short fun that is very repeatable every evening that I'm basically looking for. Perhaps I'll do some random dungeons or things like that as well, but at the moment I'm just having so much fun with the random battlegrounds, and it's still getting me gear as well, that I think that's going to be my focus, and that's definitely going to be part of my routine. Just, you know, do the brawl or do at least 1 or 2 BGs or something like that while I run around in the world to finish up some quests or maybe work on my professions a little bit. We'll see how it all works out, but I'm definitely coming to the point in World of Warcraft where I don't feel the need to basically spend all my available time and energy after doing what I need to do in EVE Online into World of Warcraft. So I'm starting to get some more room for more EVE and possibly some other games as well. I'm still having fun though, and I feel it's very rewarding at this point to have chosen that shaman and to know where I'm going towards Battle for Azeroth. And with that extra time, I had to do some relaxing from time to time as well last week, and I went for some Hearthstone. To my surprise, that was actually my first choice there. You know, just solo dungeons. It's just so much fun, very accessible, and basically half an hour of just, you know, experimenting with stuff, really zero pressure, absolute relaxed gaming as well. It's on par for me with the way I enjoy Banished. Banished is more for longer term, though I can definitely, you know, get started or play a whole evening of Banished or several hours of Banished. But for Hearthstone, yep, just 1, maybe 2 dungeons, you know, half an hour, maybe an hour, a little bit less of that if you don't get to the final boss. Definitely fun, and I'm just experimenting with, I want to try to some cool combos, and I managed to find a pretty cool combo with the double battle cry, and I definitely still want a deck that'll end up finishing the dungeon that is based off of double death rattles. Still not sure which class I should take for that, but I think that can be really cool as well. The double battle cry with some Jade was really powerful, quite a lot of fun as well. I actually learned something about the new card that saved my butt for the final boss. That was definitely pretty cool, and a video I'll share with you guys later on as well. But yep, Hearthstone, I don't feel that pressure to go into ranked or anything like that, but that solo dungeon is really hitting the mark for me for relaxing and staying a little bit in some Hearthstone there. So that's what I also did. Couple of fun little solo dungeons here and there, just experimenting and trying to find out cool combinations. Definitely something that I can actually recommend there. To my surprise, I highly recommend Banished, for instance, when you're looking to relax. But yep, to my surprise, something that is normally quite costly, a card game, is actually accessible as a free-to-play game to have some fun with, thanks to those solo dungeons. So definitely, in my opinion, an awesome addition to Hearthstone, and something that just makes the download worth it. It's always there, and you can just have some quick, decently quick half an hour fun there running one of those dungeons. And really, that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you all next week.